So he came back for a little bit more of that canine bitchly. Right on. So to continue, we was assigned these dorms. Like I said, I got drove this dorm 2. They called it the Animal House. We weren't supposed to call it that, but that's what all the kids called it. So we roll up in this place, and I mean, it looked like this place was built in like 1932. Oh my gosh, I think it was 4 double-wide trailers put together to make this thing, and they called it a dorm. And so it had different sections, broken down into cubes, cube 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that they could kind of control and know where everybody was at. They do bed counts and checks and stuff like that. So anyway, I walk up in there, and the counselor that I'm following says, hey, this guy's going to show you, where your bunk is and what's going on. So this big, huge white kid comes walking over, looks like a grown damn-ass man. I mean, he had a full-grown beard, looked like a biker. I mean, straight-up biker. So I was like, oh, yeah, right on. So, he comes over, what's your name, little man? So they call me Canine Bitchley. And he said, well, they call me Genghis. You can follow me over to your crib. I think they call him Genghis. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. So anyway, I follow him over to where I'm sleeping, and I got a bunk there and a locker at the end. He gives me a lock combination, says, you have to keep your stuff in there. That's where you bunk. And the kid just walks off. I'm like, okay, right on. I sit there, I'm looking around a little bit. And get up, start walking around. So they got an area where they're watching TV, and they have an bathroom area, and smoke's just rolling out of there. So I'm like, well, right on. That must be where everybody smokes. So me. I roll with my Marlboro and walk in there with my cool walk, trying to see what's going on. And kind of noticed real quick, that they got this open shower area, with this 4 poles. And then for each pole is coming off 4 shower heads, so you got like 10, 15 guys in there buck naked taking showers, and everybody walking around in their underwear. And I'm not saying I'm homophobic, but I was a little bit shocked, I got to be honest with you, that first time, but you got to keep your head and be cool, so no one thinks you're funny. So, roll up in there, kind of get the rundowns on the groups, they're like, hey, I was like, hey, what's up, man, I'm K9, and that big guy Genghis, I was like, well, hey, I met you, I'm Genghis, pretty much lead the white guys around here, he pointed the brother out, he said, big gentleman over there, yeah, they call him Marshall, he runs the brothers, and the little guy over there, his name's Coon, he's Vietnamese, he runs the Vietnamese, and then they got a guy over here named Chief, and he runs all the Indians, and I was like, well, right on, man, I can dig with all that, and then they had a couple, loose ends here and there that weren't really tied in with anybody, So they was giving me the rundown on all that, so I was like, right on, man, I think I can fit into this, And they said, so they call you Canine, you got that dog collar, huh? I was like, yeah, And I mean, it must have been like right on cue. Because right then, one of the staff members, Gassmeyer, comes walking up in there and he goes, hey, I'm going to need that dog collar. It could be used as a weapon. Used as a weapon? So I took off my dog collar, had to give it to him. And now I'm thinking to myself, now how am I going to be Canine? So about 5 minutes pass by, whatever, and they tell us it's going to be lights out. So lights go out, Stay the night, wake up the next day. We're going down to the cafeteria. And it's kind of like one of those cafeterias, just like any other, you go down the line, pick up your food, sit down. You can notice that whites are sitting with whites, blacks sitting with blacks. You know how it goes. So we're all sitting there eating our meal, eating, all of a sudden this skinny black guy comes walking up. And he says, how's everybody doing today? All those white guys look up, and Genghis says, I think you're in the wrong place. The brother's sitting over there, if you can't tell. And the guy looks over at the brothers and looks back at us and says, well, I must be at the right place. I'm Snoopy. I'm an Eskimo. I'm not a black guy. So we'll turn the page.